Hey, how's it going, everybody? Max with BuzzTox here, and a brand new Game of Thrones teaser trailer dropped. And I personally thought it would be tomorrow, but I'm very happy that it ended up being today. And this teaser ended up being exactly what I thought. This teaser is the Season 7 version of the Hall of Faces that we saw for Season 6. The whole purpose of this teaser was to set the tone of the branding for this season moving forward. This statue that we see in this teaser, I believe, is going to be on the posters. It's going to be the face of Season 7. And what's so great about this statue is that it has all the major houses of Game of Thrones. And what was so awesome about this teaser is that it brought it to life. And what this teaser did really well is it started from the beginning. It gave us a history of the whole Game of Thrones series, bringing us to the end. And the statue in the end represents where the current state of all the houses in Westeros are. And it leads us to the end, and that part of the statue represents the current state all of these houses are in Season 7. The first thing we see is the Stag fighting off all the dragons. And what's so great about this shot is it's showing Robert's rebellion. It's showing Robert fighting inside the dragons and fighting them off well. You can see his antler right in the dragon's neck. But after Robb's victory, we then see the lion biting the stag. And what that represents is Cersei poisoning Robert's wine. And while this happens, we hear Cersei say, "Everyone who isn't us is our enemy." But unfortunately, after that, we see the wolf being crushed by everything. And this wolf represents Ned Stark being crushed by everything in King's Landing, by all the lying and the deceit, and he's just trying to breathe. And then the Kraken comes. Its tentacles are wrapping around the wolf. But I find it very interesting how the tentacles don't wrap around the lion. And that's because it foreshadows the Red Wedding. We hear Roose Bolton say the Lannisters send their regards. And we see the lion on top as the Kraken is holding down the wolf. And this means many things. The Kraken is holding down the wolf because that's what Theon did. Theon took over Winterfell and put Robb in a very vulnerable position. A key reason as to why Robb lost the war is because Theon took over Winterfell. So it really shows an ongoing relationship between the Greyjoys and the Lannisters. The Greyjoys are the reason why the Lannisters won the war against Robb. And now we have a new alliance between Euron Greyjoy and Cersei Lannister. And then the rose wraps around the lion, and that represents many things. As soon as the Tyrells came in, they had immediate control over all the Lannisters. Marjorie was really good at manipulating Joffrey into doing what she wanted him to do, and then Lady Olenna had him killed. And then when Tommen came into power, Marjorie was also able to wrap around him and control him. But then that all ended with the explosion of the rose, which represents Cersei destroying their house. And I really like how the explosion took place in the rose while still looking like the Sept. But then we get a shot of the dragons, and they're on top. And since the video's done telling the history, I think that since the dragons are on top, I think that represents where they're going to go in the show. Daenerys clearly has the upper hand when defeating Cersei, and in this statue we clearly see the dragon on top of all of the houses. But then as soon as the dragons get to the top, it ends up shattering, and that welcomes another threat. All the shattered pieces of all the houses make the spiral. And this is very significant because this represents the White Walkers, it represents the children of the forest and the symbols that the White Walkers leave in the snow. And then we see the symbol turn into the blue eye of the Night's King. If you want to know more about the White Walkers, click the link below. But during the fall of all the houses, we hear Jon, and this is new dialogue. And we hear him say the same thing is coming for all of us. There is only one war that matters, the Great War, and it is here. And this gives us really our first tease to Season 7. And I believe that this is definitely Jon Snow, and we're going to hear him say this in the middle of Season 7 or at the end of Season 7. I believe that he's either telling this to Daenerys and trying to convince her that the White Walkers are an issue, but I also think he could be talking to somebody at the end of this season. I don't want to spoil it for you, but what I will tell you is that this end scene where he could say this would involve every house that you see in this video. But then we got our announcement, and Game of Thrones is going to premiere on July 16th. And that makes me really excited, but a little bit upset, because I thought Game of Thrones was going to come out in the last week of June or in the first week of July. But even though we got this teaser, I don't think that's it. The Game of Thrones team is still going to South by Southwest, so we may see more behind the scenes, and I think they might drop a poster. And I think what this poster is going to be is the branding for the new season. It's going to be a poster of the statue that we've seen. And this poster is going to be the statue of all the houses together in the teaser that we just saw. And that statue is going to be the face of the season. In Season 6, it was the faces of all of our favorite characters in the house in black and white. In this season, it's going to be the sigils of all the houses that we love. And the statue represents the histories of where they've been, but the statue also represents of where they are and where they're going to be. But that's all my thoughts on the teaser and the release date. Please let me know down below what you think about the teaser, and let me know if you noticed anything that I didn't. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.